try to let go, do you? Have you heard of someone whose life altered drastically as a result? What feeling do you have after? Are you a little scratched? We're delighted to have you here. Today, we'll talk about 5 ways or 5 reasons why it's a good idea to stop abusing pornography. I found you on a new video. These opinions are shared by me and many other people I've spoken to who have developed past their impulsiveness and basic tendencies. Take a seat comfortably and throw away that doubtful lotion, because this time you won't need it if you want to hear the viewpoint of someone who overcame this addiction 3 years ago. 1. Your battery life is depleted by using a device with pictures of naked women or guys. Let me go into more detail about this if you think that's not incorrect enough. From the men's point of view, we suppress our desire to meet girls in the actual world because of this tendency. Why? Because modern times have greatly improved our quality of life from various angles, but specifically speaking about social and sexual interactions, it's much simpler these days to strike up a conversation on Instagram or to have a brief one on a shady website found by accident 2 clicks away than it is to venture out into the world to meet, seduce, and truly feel that sense of accomplishment. According to the female perspectives I have seen, excessive pornographic consumption causes the majority of women to have unrealistic fantasies. Others grow perplexed and start to doubt their prowess in bed. Your energy is therefore crucial. Find something to do instead of watching porn. Something fruitful that can aid in your required replacement dopamine secretion. Contrarily, if you have developed an addiction, then your brain receives the dopamine it requires by satisfying this carnal urge. When you feel the need to enter incognito mode, you could consider exerting some physical effort. Long-term results include not only kicking this habit, but also getting bigger arms and a bigger chest. Finding a mate may be a very simple diversion. I know, it sounds simple to say, but it can be challenging to achieve. We shall discuss how to attract and discover a good companion at a later time. However, if you have the chance to converse with someone else in a civil or heated manner, take it. You never know, maybe you'll combine something or perhaps find that lost star in the sky that you've been hunting for years. Your sexual energy will move to the appropriate location. 2. The sensation of letdown. This justification is often valid, but not everyone experiences the subsequent remorse. But if you fall into this category, then let's go on. How are you feeling? If it's not okay, why do you keep fighting? Why don't you want to be joyful? Why don't you want to let go of the guilt? And why don't you want to accept this life as it is? Consider it unfair that doing this is only 2 clicks away, don't you? You ought to be able to stop if your self-esteem is low. I am aware that it is difficult. There are many of us that suffer from this addiction or worse. Listen, you really want someone else to defeat you in the simplest competition there is, so if you're a little narcissistic, maybe this will help. If you're not the sort to focus much on what other people do or think, ask yourself if you're at peace with yourself. Didn't you state that you wanted to improve on yesterday? Why then are you continuing to slog through the same muck that you fell into and spent a long time in? We've reached the 3rd and final discussion point, personal development, because of this conversation about doing better than yesterday. How can you expect to grow as a person if you can't control your simplest instincts? You won't be able to. You'll have to start over often, I assure you. Don't get me wrong, progress is progress, no matter how minor. But if you decide to use this strategy of waiting till you can consume pornography again, my darling, you're just feeding a beast that you won't be able to get rid of. Why? Let me explain why. By delaying the procedure, you simply increase your motivation to complete it. Therefore, the best course of action would be to fully eliminate this pastime out of your daily schedule if you want to get rid of these pink fur handcuffs that you put on yourself. I hope you watched the previous video when I discussed 5 strategies to live a better life, and you are well aware of how much keeping an activity diary will benefit you. Now let's go on to technique 3 as I was speaking regarding the diary. Keep a note somewhere. A journal would be ideal, but it is not required because you can install a variety of software that include daily check-off activities. Perhaps doing that would be simpler for you than writing with a pen on paper. But when you return, it's crucial to keep in mind how much time has passed. At first, you won't be too thrilled with the number of 2 or 3 days, but once month 2 or month 12 roll around, you'll be extremely aware of the direction you've taken and what it would mean if you decided to go back. Too much work would be wasted. The initial weeks, in my opinion, are the most difficult since they are when your character will be tested the most. Keep doing what you said you would do, and you'll succeed, I'm confident. At number 4, I can stomp you with all the rhetoric about your body secreting testosterone and how, if you do, you're either not a man or a woman enough. In reality, the vast majority of these assertions are accurate. From a chemical and biological standpoint, you are literally deteriorating into a lesser version of yourself. I'm going to change your perspective though. While hormone secretion is significant, have you ever considered that your potency wanes? Yes, you will eat more the more hooked you are, which increases your need to finish quickly. When you get the chance to practice what you observe on a real person, you will act exactly as you see. How can you become the person you hope to date in the future? If you think about it this way, you won't even be able to satiate your sexual needs. It is better to learn what you can and cannot achieve for yourself rather than from others. You can learn enough from the books available to you. If you believe that this point of view on literature is outdated, then you are correct. I'm sorry, I have no idea why I brought up Kama Sutra. Returning to the connection with a real person as the healthiest method to experience joys and the way you would like to be fulfilled. Finally, we will talk about masses and time for reason number 5. To begin with, if you are a sheep, you can return to the herd of helpless individuals with very beautiful hands. How much time do you have, specifically? Are you truly so idle that you have nothing else to do with your time? I firmly believe that if you have spare time but do not use it to invest in your future or to unwind after activities with the same goal as those listed above, you are to blame for falling. You are the only one who can save you, yet you also serve as the judge, the victim, and the executioner. Keep in mind this story. You must be able to resonate with each of the aforementioned positions in order to pass. Since you cannot be subjective from this position, you will have the chance to develop your objectivity. If you are, you will discover a very good reason to open that doubtful page from the last time. I wish you well, and maybe a few months from now you'll watch this video again and make a cut comment in which you'll describe how the diary is going, how many months have passed, and how you're feeling. As always, if you feel that this video was helpful, please press the like and subscribe buttons since it really helps me out. Hello there. Put that hand lotion in the trash. Take care.